because it's me. What inspired this brand was I was going through battles with mental health, and I was feeling very alone in it because it's not something that other people can really understand. And I feel very passionately about the fact that we just need more people that can work in the field like this. And I am a very creative person, so I had all these different emotions and it kind of just blended in together into this brand. That worked? Yeah. I got into art at a very young age. I actually remember being at Mount Washington Pediatric Hospital, and my dad and I were like coloring because we were premature, so we had a lot of like developmental challenges, and it ended up we were there for like some galas or clinics and stuff like that, and he taught me how to color, and that was like the first time that I remember really just loving that moment. And my dad's a very good colorer, so I feel like he's just very fluent with it. So I was like, oh, he knows how to like, he knows his way. And so, and maybe he's never done art like this, but I just realized that I was good at it. And so I just, here and there growing up, I just practiced, and then I ended up in school at Genesee, upper school campus. And we did a lot of art, and it really opened me up. And my teacher, Miss Savage, she really taught me how to use a pencil and use a brush. And yeah, so. So basically, as far as like color and stuff like that, growing up in a traumatic situation, the colors that represent certain meanings to me were always things I always ran away from. And because of this brand, it's something that I'm trying to come towards something and find who I really am. And I had lost this artistic part of myself, and I had just found it again now through recovery. So with that, I created this brand, and pink and green and orange represent certain colors for me. Pink and green was the color my room was when I went through the hardest time in my life, and orange just represents sunset and just happiness, and something that I just see more and more now that I'm with my friend and we go out all the time. So the sunset is really meaningful for me because that's what we see every day. She gets off work. I created it for basically just my healing. I didn't realize I was actually creating this until I started recognizing that a lot of my emotions and feelings with depression, anxiety, and all these different mental health things that go on, and everything else that happens in the world and how dangerous it's getting, I realized how passionate I still am towards it, and I've been really trying to find myself, my identity again, and I lost touch with my art, with my paintbrush, with all that stuff. So now I'm bringing it all back together, along with photography as far as graphic design, and it's all self-taught along with my former teacher, and you know, doing all of this is teaching me my art again and getting back up on it, and being proud of the things that I create, as well as being able to express my emotions through color. And so that's why I found my color. So I'm basically incorporating just a bunch of issues: mental health, domestic violence, sexual assault, just any awareness for people who are really just struggling with any forms of abuse, as well as any mental health issues, because we are in a day and age where there's just, you're hearing more about it, and there is higher demand for people to really speak out against this, and I am a huge advocate for it. Meaning behind my logo, so my mom and I got really close after things that I've been through, and I actually have a lotus on my wrist, and it was something that we've always talked about getting matching tattoos for. And at this time, it's very hard for me, and you know, things are a little bit rough. And I still look at this symbol as a representation that, you know, my mom had gave me this necklace that was a lotus right when I got out. And that's what ended up being our symbol of getting out of these dark waters and blooming into the sunlight. And so it's very nostalgic for me, as well as, you know, my mom, who's my best friend. And along with that, there's this childhood picture of me holding a chicken. And I had the biggest smile on my face, and it was the first picture I've really looked at since recovery that really incorporated my child's innocence, and really just missing that, but also just taking that power back. And basically that's what this whole brand is really just taking my power back, but also being able to help others and change a lot of things around us. Happy and proud of this. It's been a very hard time being out of the hospital. At this point, I am 6 weeks out of the hospital and have overcome so many things. And the reason why I'm open about it is, again, because I feel so passionate about it. And sometimes we're looked at as crazy. Sometimes we're looked at as just a problem in the world. And for me, you know, I think we all, people like me, deal with really just self-love and not having that because we feel we have to fit into a certain label. And just because we have these struggles, just because we have these issues, does not necessarily make us unintelligent or that we can't find ourselves again. And there has been a lot of doubts in my life that I'm moving forward, and having progress. And for me, this is, again, how I started this brand, is by having all those negative things said to me so that I can just try and learn to balance my brain and not see bad or all the good, and just see the balance and see that, you know, things are not as I want them to be right now. But at the same time, I can take that and put it into my passion and find myself again, and find who I was and what part of my life I was proud of, that I was proud of myself and where I had pride. And so I really thought about the things that really have made me happy in the last 21, almost 22 years. And right now it's just being incorporated through my art as well as my head. So.